Welcome back. A baby girl in New York is fighting for her life after being hit in the face by a stray bullet just 2 days before her first birthday.
The dad's stopping to go into the drugstore, leaving the store when he hears his wife screaming, coming outside and seeing his wife holding his baby in a coat colored pink but stained with red blood from his child.
The baby and her mother were sitting in a parked car in the Bronx when the shooting occurred. Police said an unidentified man opened fire while chasing another man in the street. The incident reignited outrage over easy access to guns in the United States.
This is an assault, an abandonment on all levels of government. That we have an endless flow of guns. The police department up here made over 1,000 gun apprehensions in this borough. And they continue to flow without a problem.
Transport planes carrying essential supplies from New Zealand and Australia have arrived in Tonga after a runway on the island nation was cleared of volcanic ash.
The priorities from the Tongan government are what we're really working to, and primarily in the first instance, the provision of clean water. That's the key priority that the Tongan government has asked for.
Secondly, communication tools. I'm picking that's a combination of satellite phones amongst other things that will allow us to open up more communication lines.
Ash blanketed the Tongan capital, Nuku'alofa, after an underwater volcano erupted last week and sent shockwaves across the Pacific. A state of emergency was declared after all houses on the island of Mango were destroyed. The United Nations estimates that around 84,000 people are in urgent need of clean water and food. President Xi Jinping has pledged full support to help the South Pacific island nation rebuild. Hong Kong's inflation rate has risen as people dug deeper into their pockets to pay for utilities, clothes, and food. When relief measures were netted out, the cost of living in December was at a 19-month high. Johanna Chan reports.
Hong Kong's inflation rose 2.4% in December from a year ago, the highest since July, when the government's e-voucher scheme opened for registrations. But netting out the government's relief measures, inflation was at 1.4%, a 19-month high. Hong Kongers dished out more for electricity, gas, and water, which saw a price increase of 54.2% last month from the previous December. Clothing and footwear cost 8.7% more, while transport was up 4.1% year-on-year. Food prices increased by 3%, with much of the hike coming from meals out and takeaways. A government spokesman said external price pressures may further increase from global inflation and logistics disruptions because of COVID. Johanna Chan, HKIBC.
The Hang Seng Index jumped 3.4% today, its biggest rise in 6 months, as China made modest cuts to its 1-year and 5-year loan prime rates. Meituan led a tech rally, with the food delivery giant gaining 11%. Tencent and Alibaba also soared after cyberspace regulators denied issuing guidelines requiring tech giants to seek approval for new investments and fundraising. Mainland developers surged on reports that they will find it easier to get funds held in escrow accounts from sales. Sunac jumped 15.2%, and the Shimao Group 12.1%. Now let's take a look at the markets. The Hang Seng Index is up 824 points. Top 10 active stocks. The Tencent is up $29.20. Meituan up $23.60. Alibaba up $7.30. Kuaishou is up $5.70. Sunac up $1.44. Hong Kong Exchange up $17.80. Over to Hong Kong dollar exchange rates, it's 8.82 to the euro, 10.59 to the British pound, 6.23 to the Canadian dollar. In the UK, the FTSE is down 9 points. For decades, children at a school in Wales have been going to class without realizing that there was a crocodile under their feet.
I couldn't believe it. I just was so shocked. I thought it was a dream.
I can't imagine anyone else could say they found a crocodile underneath the classroom floor in their school.
The crocodile has, of course, been dead for years. Its remains were found 2 years ago and have now been put on display. It's not known how the crocodile found its way to the village of Pentra. Some say a soldier in one of the world wars in the last century brought home a dead crocodile to keep children quiet in class.
We aren't exactly sure, to be honest. The story might be to do with the fact that in World War II they wanted to keep things safe. It might just have been a case that they'd had enough of it and thought, what better than put a crocodile under a school floor and threaten the children to behave.
And finally, the weather. Tomorrow will be mainly cloudy with a few rain patches. Temperatures will range between 16 and 19 degrees. Stay warm and keep your umbrella handy over the weekend. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. And that's our main news for Thursday night. Join us for more news at 11. I'm Wynna Wong. Good night.